Okay, real quickly, I want to discuss which sectors to pay attention to this week, and also what happened. I'm going to touch on what happened last week as well. Um, so last week, and this is something we should have been paying attention to, definitely is sectors. And then, of course, you want to kind of dig into this sector and see which ones are leading the way. So, in this case, last week, healthcare, the sector is XLV. And when you look at it, all right, you should have been looking at stocks that was pretty big in this sector. In the healthcare sector, like stocks like UNH, ABBV, PFE. UNH and ABBV are two plays that I called out last week, and of course they continue in the uptrend, and that's how I'm able to find big hitters by looking at sectors. Because of course you had the financials, healthcare, industrials, energy, so on and so forth. So let's look at the chart. Look how some of the names under that sector, they kind of mimic the sector itself. So check this out, like ABBV, they all hit price targets. Like, I mean, it's crazy how they work in unison, you know. So that was last week. Well, actually the past 2 weeks healthcare has been pretty big, and it's been in a consistent uptrend. So now we're going into a downtrend, like SPY's coming down. So what's dragging the SPY down is XLF, which is the financial sector. All right, so it pulled back to its average on the daily, and now this bad boy is tanking. I'm pretty confident that it's going to hit my price target here at $36.19. Pre-market, it's already dropped 1.8%. You know what I mean? And Friday it dropped 2%. So it just lets you know, like, it's just going to continue to tank. So you have the companies that's right underneath, like USB, COF, Capital One, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, and all these are tanking. Now look how the charts mimic that sector. Look, just tanking. Everything is just in a downtrend. And I love the daily squeeze. I love to trade those. So I feel pretty confident that these will have a continuation, just like last week with ABBV. Look at the squeeze. Had a squeeze and it went back in momentum and it just skyrocketed. Let's see, PFE, that's another one where it had a squeeze and it started to gain that momentum to the upside. So now we're going to the downside this week. So of course I have debit spreads in COF, and look how the squeeze, or the histogram, changed back to red. So that indicates momentum to the downside. So in my price target, I have contracts that are right above this 130. So I should be turning, like, I think it was like $18 into 500 by the time it hit that. And Capital One is already tanking this morning. You don't see it in trade. It is not visible in TradingView, but it is in Robinhood, where it tanked, I want to say, like 3% this morning already. So real quick, a few more sectors I want to say was energy. I noticed that. Now look how Exxon and Kinder Morgan are tanking as well. Look, XLE, the energy sector. Look at the setup. It pulled back to its average up here, and then it dropped. So now it's in momentum. If you look at this histogram here on the TTM squeeze, it's back in momentum to the downside. So that bad boy definitely should hit my price target here, if not go beyond. So pay attention to these sectors this week. So XLE, and I want to say XLI, that doesn't have the daily squeeze, so I won't even bother with that sector too much. I mean, it looks like it's going in a downtrend. It came back to the average, but I love the squeeze on the daily. So I would stick to energy and financials this week. So let's get paid this week.